Hi, everybody. Steve Butts here with IGN at San Diego Comic-Con, joined by my pal, Joshua Yale.
What's up?
We're taking a look at something quite awesome, the Batman vs. Superman trailer. This thing's like almost 4 minutes long. There's so much to go through here. Let's kick it right off. So you see Holly Hunter at the beginning saying, we're going to get to the truth. Superman comes down, presumably to go into the hearing to be held accountable for the actions at the end of Man of Steel.
Lots of processors here. There's illegal alien, like literally illegal alien.
But you see some supportive sign, and then also here on the right, or on the far left rather, you see pictures of kids, and I'm wondering, these may be people who died in the attack, or maybe people that Superman has saved. So it seems like there's sort of a mixed message here in some of this. But more negative signs than positive, certainly here.
After the events of Man of Steel, not everybody is happy with him.
And I do like that the movie follows up on that, because there was a lot of negative fan reaction to the ending of Man of Steel, and I like that they're using that, they're building on that to create the story for this movie. And here we actually even see a sequence from the end of the movie.
Yeah, this is a flashback as Ben Affleck is Bruce Wayne, and this is amazing. He is running into the danger. Immediately, I am sold on Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, absolutely. And I kind of like, I don't know if this is intentional, but he's kind of got the Batman color scheme going on here. And his little vest and shirt. Like, really, like, to me at least, I noticed that and was very excited about that. But yeah, you see him running into danger, like, super heroic move for him. And here he is amid the rubble of, as the camera pulls back, we see a Wayne Enterprises building.
Yeah, so he has a very personal connection to Superman through this. Like, the destruction that Superman caused fighting Zod cost him one of his building and the lives of his employees. So that's we're getting a lot of context for the conflict now, and that's a big piece of it.
And we should mention that this is an older Batman, maybe a little bit more established. And here we're guessing this is Jeremy Irons playing Alfred walking up to a dilapidated, destroyed almost, Wayne Manor. And here we're seeing some interior shots. Bruce Wayne looking down at a paper. What does it say on this?
It says, "You let your family die." And it's a newspaper article of his building that I guess we saw that was destroyed, the Wayne Tower that was devastated. And we're not sure who's sending him these messages, but one later on in the trailer makes me think this is the Joker, like taunting Batman.
Yeah, it's very much that similar style. I will mention this is from the Daily Planet, but it doesn't have Clark Kent's byline on it. We see Clark Kent sort of working against the Batman at some point, presumably. Perry White, he can have an argument coming up fairly soon here. But yeah, so we're seeing a lot of training here as Bruce is becoming the Batman again, and there's the suit.
Yeah, and there's this Alfred talking, the same line as the previous trailer we had. First look at Jeremy Irons as Alfred, if you go back there. Looking pretty good. Not your, like, butler Alfred, right? He looks a little more like he's ready to, like, get his hands dirty.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's in keeping with Zack Snyder's aesthetic, and his kind of take on this whole thing.
And it's also worth mentioning, as we keep going here, that
this is GCPD
in the GCPD Batman, he's back on the prowl. He's marking his crooks that he's taken down. The bat symbol, it looks like there.
Yeah, this seems a little weird to me. I'm not 100% on board with this.
I will say that, you know, we all know that this is being heavily influenced by The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller. And in that, Batman was brutal. Like, when he hurt somebody, he would take them down and then he'd break their leg almost just because to hear a criminal, like, cry. So, bats wouldn't be a Batman movie without bats.
So here's the part I was talking about before, where Perry White's saying, you know, nobody cares about Clark Kent taking on the Batman. Clark, obviously, is sort of the paragon of truth and justice and following the rules, would have a problem with the way that Batman's doing things. And that's a nice contrast to what we just saw in the previous scene, where Batman's maybe actually literally branding criminals.
And also, I was just saying before, during the panel, they said that Gotham and Metropolis are sister cities. They are across the bay from each other, much like San Francisco and Oakland. So that's why the fight spilled over into Gotham during that.
Now here we see a little bit more context for a scene we saw in the previous trailer. This is a family huddled on a roof amid a flood, and then you see this figure reaching up. This is the exact shot we saw before, which it shows Superman as sort of that messianic kind of
powerful image, and that they would paint that symbol and almost like praying to someone to come save them. So very cool.
Yeah, I mean, he's literally sort of a god above them, like a rescuing angel. So here we see his mom, Ma Kent. She's talking about the good he can do in the world, and you do see some global shots here. There he is in sort of a Day of the Dead situation, I assume, in Central America, something like that. We saw a little hint of this in the previous trailer, but no additional context provided here. A little bit more here. He's rescuing a capsule from Roscosmos, the Russian space agency, and we're not quite sure why he's there or what he's doing.
It would seem weird. Like, maybe this was blowing up by accident, and he's saving the astronauts, or the cosmonauts. But that would imply that he knew this was here. It's one thing if someone falls from a building in like Metropolis, because he's there in Metropolis,
right.
he could go save them. But if you're in like Russia and you have a problem, it's not like he can zoom over there and save you right away. It makes me wonder, was he maybe stopping this rocket, like destroying it, but saving the people, because maybe they were going into space for some reason to do something against him?
Well, again, and this is speculation totally on my part. But if he goes before Congress and they say, look, like, we're not happy with the way you're doing things, maybe he leaves the U.S. for a while. Maybe he goes off and becomes sort of this more global presence for good. But again, that's just speculation. So this is really interesting. So his mom says here, you don't know these people anything, you never did, or you don't know this planet anything, which is a 180 degrees away from what Glenn Ford says to Christopher Reeve in the original Superman movie, where he says, you know, even Marlon Brando, like, you're here for a purpose. You have to fulfill that purpose. So it's an interesting take on that relationship and kind of who he is.
It echoes what Jonathan Kent said in the first movie when little young Clark was like, should I save them? And he's like, maybe not, you know? So what kind of parents are these?
Yeah, well, that kind of ambiguity is, I think, part of what Zack Snyder brings to it. Not everybody is on board with it, but it's certainly an interesting take on the character here. So we see now Lois Lane, she's meeting Jesse Eisenberg now as Lex Luthor with this really bizarre wig.
With a goofy wig, you know, brightly colored shirt there. He talks kind of funny. I don't know. It's kind of the weird Lex Luthor. So it's definitely the thing where it could be good, but in the trailer, it's just a little weird.
It is a little strange. And we see here, Superman is bowing down before him, and Lex is obviously exerting some kind of influence over him, but Superman looks a little distraught by it.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if he has some sort of leverage over Superman. And in the sequel to the Dark Knight Returns comic, he actually literally had like big leverage over Superman, and he used that to make him confront Batman. So I'm just wondering, what does he have on Superman? Maybe it's the fact that he has kryptonite, which we'll see later in the trailer.
Yeah, or he has somebody held hostage and Superman can't rescue them. Yeah, we're not entirely
Superman's
sure
clearly not happy. This is awesome. This is Mercy Graves, the personal bodyguard of Lex Luthor. It's cool to see her. And if we go forward a little bit, we'll see what's in this case here, what I'm assuming is in this case.
Yeah, she came out of the cartoons, right?
Yes, Superman animated series. So this is awesome that they have Zod's dead body. What could they be up to with that?
Yeah, I can only imagine what nefarious purpose Lex Luthor's putting that to. Now, you alluded to this a little bit earlier. We see Bruce Wayne in the Batcave. You can see here, we'll just scrub back just a couple of frames. There's the bat suit in the lower right of the frame. But he's looking up at this costume, and it says, "Ha ha, joke's on you, Batman."
Yeah, and the theory is that this is actually not a Batman costume, but a Robin costume. And this is spoiler for the rumor that we've heard is that Robin is actually dead in this universe, like, because this is an older Batman. He's lost, like, Robin. Robin is dead. And then the new Robin might be Carrie Kelly, who we know from the Dark Knight Returns comic book. So I'm not sure. Is this like you think maybe a monument to him, or is this the actual costume? Because it looks like almost like bronze. Like, is this? I don't know. Maybe the Joker got in his cave and vandalized something, or maybe this was a public monument that was vandalized and he brought it in to maybe remind himself, or maybe someone broke into the Batcave in the present and is teasing him. I don't know. I could go on, but yeah. So it looks like the Joker.
My thought would be that this is the suit that Robin died in. And then as a sort of additional kind of dig at Batman, Joker spray painted on it. And so he's brought the suit back and put it up as sort of a memorial or like a monument in the Batcave, just to remind himself of what's at stake and why he's doing what he's doing.
I like that way better than my three guesses.
But yeah, again, we're just speculating. Okay, now this is very exciting. Who are we seeing here?
This is our first look at Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman in her civilian clothes. Although some people say it's Gal Gadot, but we're going to say Gal Gadot just for consistency.
I can live with that.
So she looks great. It looks like a stately Wayne Manor party maybe or something. Well, not in maybe it's a Wayne party, but not because we know that she's going to have a romantic interest of some sort with Bruce Wayne.
And traditionally in the comics, she's worked in D.C. She's been affiliated with the government, so it could very easily be that she, as part of this hearing that Clark has or Superman has in Washington, is brought into the story that way. But again, we don't really know.
I could see that because she's like an ambassador, sort of like a warrior for peace.
Right. So here we see, that's another shot we've seen previously, Superman coming down, these figures with the crest of Superman on their shoulder patch, bowing down before him.
Yeah, we'll see more of them in a minute. A much more interesting scenario. You know, we saw this was actually Comic-Con footage, I think, last year, and of him turning on the signal. Again, we've seen that before. And then next up is...
Yes.
we're like brewing to like the conflict, of course, and some interesting shots here. This we're not going to spend too much on time on this, but we don't know who this is or what they're doing or what they're reaching towards. That could be a statue. This could be a flashback, but we do know that Aquaman is teased to be in this movie. He might be like Jason Momoa's Aquaman. So this is the only shot underwater. It makes you wonder if this is just some tease for that.
Yeah, I mean, it could be some monument that's fallen beneath the waves. It could be kryptonite that somebody's going to recover there.
It's a meteor.
Absolutely. We've got that. Then another sort of strange sequence here with a bunch of people on horseback.
I bet those are the Superman guys that we'll see in a minute with the patch on their shoulder.
And so once again, Thomas Wayne dies again.
Yes,
how many times is this poor character going to get killed in movies?
We get to see his parents die again. Yay. And that was Joe Chill, it looked like before.
Right. Let me back up just a little bit.
Yeah. So... yay, we get to see this again. And, of course, he's one of Zack Snyder's actors from Watchmen who played the comedian.
Right.
Like, no!
Yeah, there's the young Bruce Wayne reacting in horror, as you would.
It looks like that was his parents. And then this looks like... do you think this is the battleground for the Batman versus Superman fight?
I think it is. And you mentioned the two cities were sister cities across the bay from each other, perhaps. And so you see in the background, this could be a look at both of the cities, and something's going very wrong in the one that we're closer to here.
And that could be the Batplane, but also in the last trailer we saw it blow up some stuff, like some cars. So I was like, maybe it's not. And here we have Amy Adams as Lois Lane. It looks like she's surrounded by Superman protesters, and here, Ben Affleck is Bruce Wayne. Another shot of Gal Gadot here as Wonder Woman.
I like the guy in the blue hat sort of checking her out.
She's
a little
like,
bit,
I'm up
right?
Here.
Right. And here we go.
First shot of Wonder Woman
awesome.
in action. Incredible. She looks great. I think this is awesome.
Yeah. I really like that. If you read New Frontier, the Darwin Cook comic, he had a much beefier Wonder Woman, which I like, but I like her proportions here.
If you just heard that, we are actually at Comic-Con doing this Rewind Theater, and so there are crowds walking by outside making tons of noise, so forgive that audio kerfuffle.
No, there's a crashed vehicle in the background. Looks like some sort of flying vehicle or maybe part of the Batmobile. Not really sure what it is.
Yeah, I think that's the Batmobile that we'll see at the end.
Yeah.
And here's a new thing for Wonder Woman that she doesn't really do in the comics. Normally she just reflects bullets with her bracers. Looks like she's making this giant shockwave, shield, bubble, destructive thing with them. That's intense. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
That's going to make some Wonder Woman fans right there.
Yeah, fantastic effect there. Okay, now, this is really interesting. We're not sure where this is, but the background, the ruins sort of on the upper left there, they look sort of Grecian to me, which makes me think maybe this is the Mascara, maybe this is some sort of place that's connected with a Wonder Woman, but then I don't get the devastation, like how deserted it is and the barbed wire. Maybe something has gone wrong here, and Batman's coming to investigate.
Yeah,
and Batman's got a different outfit too.
Yeah, that's awesome with the trench coat, and it makes me wonder if you keep going here, like these soldiers, they look to be in all the same setting. That's awesome. I don't know what's going on there. I hope he just didn't kill that man. Is that Batman?
Yeah, he looks like he kind of twists his neck here.
Yeah,
a little
that
bit.
Looks intense. That would either take you down or kill you.
Yeah, with spoilers, I mean, that harkens back to General Zod and Superman at the end of Man of Steel as well.
Heroes, when they're pushed to the edge, or they will kill people. So it makes me wonder if maybe, is this on Themyscira, and that's how Wonder Woman gets pulled into the conflict because there's actually a battle there? Does Lex Luthor make these Superman-branded troops go attack or something? I don't know. Batmobile blowing something up. Batman taking people down. More inspiring speeches from Jeremy Irons at LexCorp. I don't know what's going on here, but tons of, obviously, bullets, casings, and clips on the ground. A basketball.
A basketball game's gone horribly wrong. Horribly wrong.
Ooh.
Now, there we see Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor looking at a rather sizable chunk of kryptonite.
It's so funny because in the Man of Steel, they went to such lengths to not use kryptonite. And just say, it's different, like atmosphere that weakens Superman and gives powers and stuff. But this one, they're just, I guess, going all for it because it's just an easy way to weaken Superman and use that against him.
And that could be part of the leverage that we see him exerting on Superman.
Yes, I could totally see that.
So here we go.
This is awesome. Just them
moment.
Duking it out. Wonder Woman. See, it makes me wonder what Wonder Woman's role in this is because she has the romance with Bruce Wayne. It makes me think that she will be the equalizer in the fight. And though the movie is called Batman versus Superman, I could totally see it being more like Batman with assist from Wonder Woman versus Superman.
Yeah, fantastic. So we see plenty of more action scenes here as the characters are fighting. Just a great shot there.
Very cool. And this is where it just kicks up, and this is where I started crying when I watched it the first time.
So now he's saying here the red capes are coming, and we think that may be the militia that we see with the Superman
that could be like the
crest.
name for them.
And maybe he's using Superman to control them, or maybe he's offering them to Superman as an alternative to him intervening in,
he could be the
world
Superman.
affairs.
Yeah.
But Joshua, I'm super excited about this. Final thoughts on Batman versus Superman and all the cool things that we're seeing here?
You know, it was the last trailer, the tone was all over the place, kind of weird, didn't really like it. This looks awesome.
Yeah, I think these movies are a lot darker than the Marvel movies, and I love the campiness. But yeah, I'm actually way more excited about seeing this movie now, having seen 3.5 minutes of it.
Cool. It was great breaking it down with you guys. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And for all things Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, keep it right here on IGN.